Hi everyone. Please let me know again, am I audible or not?
Yes, audible.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let us start uh, today's demo session. So first of all, a small introduction from my side. My name is Preetham De. I'm having total close to 11 years of work experience in this IT industry and more than 8 years of work experience in the cloud and DevOps engineering field. So I have multiple certification I have done, like for AWS point of view, Kubernetes, Docker, and GCP point of view. I have multiple certification, and I joined Usual Path 5 years back, and since then we are we taught multiple of people across the globe, and almost we can say most of them are achieve their goal after attending the training. So that is a very small introduction of myself. So yeah, in this demo and in the upcoming session we are going to cover multiple topics on DevOps and AWS. I will go through after some time, but I want to ask everyone here, what why you are you want to understand or why you want to learn DevOps or AWS. So are you working in some technology and you want to switch, or you want to start? Any other question before I start? So you can ask if anyone have any other questions, any specific question also.
Hi Pritham, this is Pramod. Am I audible?
Yes, Pramod.
Yeah. I work for TCS. I have 5 years of experience. I'm currently Oracle DBA. I want to switch to AWS Cloud area. That's why I joined.
Okay, okay.
Hi Pritam, this is Nirmal.
Hi,
Can you
Iman.
hear me?
Yes, I
Yeah,
can hear you.
I'm. Yeah, this is Nirmal. I'm working in HCL Technologies as a senior analyst in Azure DevOps support process. But right now, I would like to switch to complete process of DevOps engineering and in depth of everything of it. I've previously worked for
Okay,
TA Digital, and this is second HCL Technologies, my second company. I total of have six
okay,
years of experience. Yeah.
okay. That's good. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. So if not, let me as today is a demo session, so I just want to walk through what are the topics and technologies we are going to cover, and later I will ask your feedback again. So are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as we said, we are going to cover the main topic of our entire session will be DevOps. Okay. Of any point of time, if you have any questions, so you can ask me directly. Okay. So any point of in that particular training, we are going to understand what is DevOps and why is DevOps and those kind of things. So first of all, what is DevOps? So before we do start understanding this, we have to understand some basic thing of software development life cycle. So who are having 5 6 years of experience, or 1 2 years of experience also, they understand the logic behind how industry works. But if you don't have the idea, so don't worry. So everything we are going to start from very basic, and we will reach to the advanced level in the DevOps and the cloud journey. So first of all, we have to understand some terminology in our software industry, for whatever thing we see, whatever tool we use or whatever application we use. So everything is called as a project for whoever is developing that. For, let's say for example, if I talk about Facebook, so we are the end user of the Facebook, so we are the client of the Facebook. But whoever is developing that, the Facebook group or Facebook team or Facebook organization, they have multiple team. So they have some development team who is responsible to create or write the code in different language, maybe it is Go or Python or Java or whatever. So they are writing the code. That is the part, they are called developer, who are writing the code, and after writing the code, how the code is reaching to the end user like us. That is some different team is involved, that is mainly called operation team. This is a wide terminology. So operation team is responsible to ship the code or like transfer the development code to the end user using different technologies. That is the part of the operation. So basically what the DevOps help us here, DevOps help us to collaborate between the developer and the operation teams. So that means there should not be any gap between the dev and the operation team. So that is why the DevOps come to the picture. So before DevOps comes to the picture, if we want to deploy our code, like a developer deploy their code and we want to like ship the code to the end user, then the process is like it took like around 2 3 months of time to simply one change to be implemented to the actual environment on the client environment. But after DevOps comes, we have done multiple tools in the background, or we set up multiple tools so that the developer code can be shipped quickly to the end user. That is why the DevOps. So DevOps nothing. This is nothing like one like tool or something like that. It is a concept. DevOps is a concept. So under the concept, we have to use multiple tools for different purpose. But the main idea here is, what is DevOps? DevOps is nothing but the collaboration between the development team and the operation team. So that is the first terminology we have to understand. Second thing is, in our actual environment, we deal with multiple environment. So let's say, for example, like we have different environment, like development environment, then maybe test environment, then maybe QA environment. There are multiple environment also like UAT, pre-prod, prod, depending on the organization structure or whatever environment they want to use. Now, dev environment means where the developer developing the code. Test environment means where the development code is being deployed and tester is being tested. Okay. And prod environment mean what is the actual environment, like client are using, like, or like people are using, started using the applications. So basically, in a nutshell, we have three kind of environment. You can, as of now, you can understand that: dev environment, test environment, and prod environment. So what is dev? Where the development is being done. Test, where the application is being tested. And production, where the actual client or actual people are using, started using the application. So that is the, like, you can understand, like, these are the environment of our software development lifecycle, or SDLC. Now, as a DevOps engineer, what is our agenda? So our agenda is, so as we already understand, we have the development team now, and we sit as like there is a DevOps team. Okay. Now, as a DevOps engineer, what is our agenda? Our agenda is, first, the development code should be deployed to the dev environment. Okay. Now, what is the environment and how we deploy? What are the tools? I will come to that later. But just in the high level, you have to understand the code needs to be deployed on the dev environment. After that, it should be deployed on the test environment. And finally, our agenda is to deploy our entire code to the production environment so the client can use the applications. So that is the high level agenda of what we have to do. So we have to understand these three environment: dev, test, prod, and teams like development team, operation team, test team, DevOps team, something like that. Okay. So that is the agenda. What now in the DevOps field, there are multiple job role are offered. Now, depending on what you are working and like how you are implementing your skill set, or in which team you are basically working, depending on that, DevOps have multiple job role open. So for, let's say, for example, like we are having like opportunity to work as a cloud engineer also. Okay. Along with that, We can have the opportunity to work as a directly DevOps engineer also, and we can also have the opportunity to work as a SRE engineer. So these are the job role we can work in the industry, like cloud engineer, DevOps engineer, or SRE engineer, or anything related to cloud. They may give some specific designation to the particular job role. That is fine, but high level, these are the job roles we are going to cover. And in our training, why we are going to understand everything on the cloud, that will we have chosen AWS for that. So if when we finish the course, you will definitely get to know more about the AWS cloud, and you can apply for the cloud engineer also. So like in our case, for our session, we are going to apply as AWS cloud engineer. Now coming back to the DevOps engineer, as we the main agenda of our entire training is the to learn the DevOps tools and technology. So yeah, we can apply as a DevOps engineer. That is also fine. Now, SRE engineer is little bit higher level of the DevOps engineer, because SRE are those people who can understand the issue in the current environment very quickly and can fix the issue very quickly. So that is why the SRE comes to the picture. So SRE is the higher level of like you can say like one level up of the DevOps engineer. So yeah, so when we complete the session, like we have to understand some debugging skills. If some kind of issue we are facing in the actual environment, how we are going to tackle the issue, how we are going to fix that particular problem. So SRE is come to that level, and yes, we are going to understand in the advanced level also. If we are getting this kind of issue, then what are the approach we have to take to fix that particular issue. So SRE comes to the picture. So after completing the session, at least these three job roles you can apply to the job market. Okay. Now before I jump to another things, if as of now, if anyone has any kind of question, you can ask me.
Hello, Pritam
Uh,
Somashekar here. Just now I joined it. Can you just repeat that which you said? Like it is, I just now joined the next time. So after completing this course, we can apply for these three profiles.
yes. At least these three profiles. It can be more, but high level. These are
Mhm.
the three job roles normally we see in the market.
Cloud engineer means the one who develops the cloud.
No, 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 no. Cloud engineer is not develop the cloud. Cloud engineer means who can
Okay.
handle the cloud. Like there are multiple services running on the cloud, so who has the good knowledge how the cloud works and what are the services and when to use which service, something like that. So that is the job role of the
What is
cloud engineer.
DevOps actually? Actually,
I
I know what is that. Okay.
okay, okay. I will let you know. But first, what you have asked, like first, like you asked me to introduce myself or something.
No, no, that's fine. It's okay. You can repeat it. I just now joined. That's why.
Okay, okay, that
To
is
the
fine.
benefit.
We just started.
Okay.
Okay. I will give the overview again. Any other question from anybody?
See, if you want to become a DevOps engineer, AWS DevOps engineer, are there any prerequisites for this?
No, there is no prerequisite. Like before joining to the particular session or before coming to these three fields, there is no prerequisite as of now.
The work I came to know that the work environment will be that Unix environment.
So yeah, so there is no prerequisite. In our session, we are going to understand whatever is needed for to become a DevOps engineer.
SQL is required for this. SQL,
Sorry,
SQL.
SQL is not required. We
Not
are not
required.
going to have the data engineer. Like those are the data engineer mostly used. Okay. Any other question from anybody? Okay. If
All
not,
hi, hi there.
Hi, Bhavesh.
Hi, yes, hi, Pritham. Uh, the session will be, all session will be online or otherwise it will be pre-recorded.
No, no, it will be online, not pre-recorded. Like after the session, you will get the recording. That is a different thing, but everything will be live session.
And Preetham, course duration is 3 months or more than 3 months?
Actually, not 3 months. It is total like around 50 to 55 hours. Now it depends like how frequently we are joining and how we can complete that.
It's
So
okay.
it
Around
almost
60,
if
60 hours, right?
50 hours. So it takes around 2 or 2.5 months to complete.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So okay, I will ask you the question again. Let me like resume whatever we are trying to understand. Okay. So yeah, there is no prerequisite before we start our session, and we are going to understand the tools and technology step by step. So yeah. So now the thing is like what we are going to understand in our entire session. So already I hope you got the like agenda or the high level things whatever we are going to understand. But let's say we are going to get more than whatever it's written over in the particular PDF. But don't worry about that. So what we are going to understand first of all, okay, before I come to that, now we are going to understand everything to AWS Cloud. Now, first of all, if somebody in the particular session don't know that why we need the cloud, so the basic idea, first of all, we have to understand why we need the cloud or why the cloud market is booming right now or why what is the reason behind that. So basically, before the cloud, what happened like we deploy our application to the actual server. So we have suppose I have the particular machine and there I am trying to deploy the entire application. So every organization we can name like we can name today like big organization like Google, Facebook, Microsoft, whatever. So they started everything like you read that they started from a garage or they started from a small office, something like that. So basically what they did in the past is like they have a physical machine like our computer, and in the particular computer they deploy their application and the client like other people trying to access the particular application. As the organization grows, they added multiple physical computers. So those are today's days those are called on premises. On premises means in our premises actual servers or actual systems are there, and in the actual systems the organization deploy the application, and from that system other people are accessing the application. That is called on premises. But there is some different challenges to use the on premises. The first challenge is the natural calamity. So in like I think like 2 3 years back there is a flood in India. So in Chennai, in the Cognizant office, I know like the basement was the server area. So the server area like for due to the flood, water logged in the server area, and all the running applications which actual people are using or actual client are using shut down within a span of minutes. Why it happened? Because everything was deployed in a physical machine. So that is the challenge. So if some natural calamity happens, we cannot control what is going to impact or the business impact. Now that is the first challenge. Second challenge is like as we are deploying everything in a physical machine, it needs to be maintained, it needs to be take care of those kind of things. So and it has to be up for 24 by 7 so the other people can access the applications. So it is second challenge. So it has to be maintained. Some maintenance cost is there, some some like patching cost are there, some upgrade cost are there. So these are the second key point or second pain point of deploying our application in an actual server. And third big key point is Suppose today we are running one e-commerce applications or e-commerce website, and today the people like at least like let's say for 10 people are using our product or using our website. But when the festival comes, then the customer who is going to access our application, it can be like increase from 10 to 100, and after the festival season got over, then it can be decreased from 100 to 10 again. So that means that is called auto. In the DevOps terminology we call it auto scale, scale out and scale in. Scale out means increase the number of the customer, scale in means decrease the number of the customer. So if we are deploying our application via the, what I can say, like actual physical machine, then what is the problem is that, like, if I know new people are coming or new clients are coming, I have to manually increase the size of my computer. For example, I'm using 8 GB RAM, I have to upgrade to 16 GB RAM. Or if I'm using 1 TB hard disk, then I have to go through maybe 5 TB hard disk to handle the request of the customer. But after the request come down after the festival season, now we have paid upfront to buy those kind of things, but we cannot go back to the older step. Now we cannot sell it, and if we can sell it, the cost we will get is not as the same as we buy those kind of things. So yeah, there is a cost loss if we are using physical machines. Now these are the three main key points why we should not use deploy we should not deploy our application in an actual server. Now instead of that, there is a technology called cloud. So why cloud is booming? Because now cloud is saying, any cloud, there are multiple cloud. So cloud is saying use our product or use our technology to deploy your application. Now in if you deploy your application in the cloud, what will happen? First of all, there is no maintenance you have to do. So where our application is running, in which actual server, we do not need to worry about that. So cloud is will take care of that. Okay, first, that is the first thing. Second thing is, now cloud has the capability to scale out or scale in within a fraction of a minute. Like just something we have to tell, like currently we are using one server, we need to use 10 server. So within a span of 1 minute, it can scale up like that. And like if we want, like if you don't want those kind of machines, then we can scale down easily. That is a very quickly it we can achieve using the cloud. So that is the first. Second thing, second key advantage why we should use the cloud. Now that now in the cloud, when we come to the cloud, there are multiple clouds in the market. For, let's say for example, the cloud technology can be offered by AWS, which is created by Amazon. There is Azure, which is created by Microsoft, and there is GCP, which is created by Google. So all the big players are fighting for this particular thing. Okay. Now why AWS? So there are multiple cloud also, Azure and GCP, but AWS is why we are trying to understand everything in AWS. Because like if you see the job market, if there is 100 of jobs, more than 88% or 87% job comes for the AWS cloud. Okay. Next, like five, we are remain with 12 or 13 jobs in the particular thing. More than 6 7 job you will see for the Azure cloud, and the rest cloud you will see for the GCP. So that is the first reason why we have chosen AWS, because we want to target wider range, or we have to understand those technologies which can be applied to the wider range, or which is demanded by the wider range of the companies. That is why we have chosen AWS. Second thing is the key benefit of the AWS. Why AWS is the market leader of the cloud? Because like AWS provide more than 300 services to like it offers more than 300 services. So whatever technology we are working, AWS has the particular service for that. And when it compares to GCP and the Azure, they are like around GCP has around 80 and Azure has around like 150 or one more than that like services, but not more than 300 because AWS is the market leader of the cloud. So that is why we are going to understand everything on the AWS cloud. And like AWS is right now booming, and every quarter they are releasing new multiple services. So if somebody is working on a development environment, they have the specific services for the development. If somebody is working as a test environment, they have some specific tools or specific services provided in the test. And for us in the DevOps engineering field, there are multiple tools are offered by the AWS services itself. Okay, and that is the reason we are going to understand AWS. So now, if I open this, you can see. So this is the sample AWS dashboard looks like. Okay. Now, when we like when you join or when you start the AWS journey, then this is the dashboard you will land. And yeah, so first thing first, as I said earlier, also there is no prerequisite to start our course or to understand the DevOps journey. But there is one prerequisite we have to like understand or we have to complete, that is everyone should have this AWS account handy. Okay, and there are two reasons behind that. First thing is so that whenever we do something, you can practice from your own and you can come back next day, like you can ask like what are the challenge you are facing and what is not working. So first of all, that day we dedicated 5 to 10 minutes of time or maybe more than enough time depending on whatever issue you are facing to fix the particular issue whatever you are facing, and rest thing we are going to learn the new things. Like that our session will progress. Like today we understand something, the expectation is you should have practice in your local system, and next day you come up with the questions. First, if there is some kind of issue you are facing, first thing our my goal will be for the next day is to fix the particular issue, so that whatever new thing we are going to learn you can practice again and the cycle will goes on. So that is the first thing. Second thing why we need the account. Yes, normally I don't share my screen or I don't do this kind of thing because as I have more experience, so I can do the things very quickly and multiple ways I know to work. I will ask any of you. Let's say you joined like 10 people, 5 people, or 20 people. You joined. Okay. Now I will ask one of you to share your screen so that like I will guide what to do and you will do the first hands-on. Like first practice you are doing in your system only. Okay. Now second day maybe you or some other people can share the screen so that the practice everything will be at your place. You are going to share and I will guide you what to do, what not to do. And to create the AWS account, there is like yes, credit card or debit card is required, but there is free of cost for 1 year. So for next 1 years or next, let's say specifically 720 hours, you are going to practice on AWS. That will be zero cost, literally 0 rupees you have to pay. So nothing is chargeable for next 720 hours. So that is why we have to take the leverage or we have to start working on the AWS, and that is the only prerequisite we have in our entire session. I hope I am clear of myself. Yes, Vavish, you have the question. You can ask. What is your question?
So entire this course, we have to use AWS account, right?
Yes.
And it it will charge or it will be free because I have recently did one project of DevSecOps. So
Mhm.
I got charged approx $18 in last in one
There
week.
is a reason behind that. So let me ask you two
Yeah,
questions. First of all, how old is your AWS account
mm,
where you
it's
created your
one
DevSecOps
hour,
project?
almost 1 year.
Okay. So that is the first thing. Second thing is when you deploy in a DevSecOps, what are the tools? Do you know, remember like what are the services you deploy like Kubernetes, Docker, any services you remember? If not, that is fine.
I use T2 large instance and another is T2 medium
Okay, that is that actually the problem
and
why you
Elastic
have.
IP.
Yes, so that is why you have charged. So the charge you have, like, first thing is the account is 1 year old. As I said, for first 720 hours or 1 year, we can use it as a free. So you come out of the particular criteria. That is the first thing. Second thing is you deploy in like T2 large or some server. So what Vavesh is talking about, he is talking about the like what like suppose I today I need 8 GB RAM, tomorrow I need 16 GB RAM. So how it can expand? So there is some specific specification in the cloud like T2 large, T2 small, T2 micro, something like that. So yeah, so we that is not comes under the free tier. T2 micro is comes under the free tier. So that is the server we have to use in order to not getting the bills. So that is why you have charged like $18. But as I said, for first 720 hours or 1 year, and if we are staying on the free tier, so there will be zero cost. So yes, that is a prerequisite for our session, and the expectation each of you should have the AWS account handy, which because that is free for next 720 hours. So our entire session we will do in the AWS cloud, and most of the time I will ask you people to share your screen, and we will do the like project or whatever we are going to understand in your system. Yes, Bhavesh.
But this type of project, we have to utilize this type of intensive. So it will be charged if we have,
No, no,
if I
depending,
create
no, no,
a new.
depending, no, no, no. Yeah, I can agree with that, but depending on what is what is you are going to achieve. So devs, if you are talking about DevSecOps, so that pipeline can be created within the free tier also. So that is not mandatory that you have to create that large or this kind of thing. So within keeping everything like in our budget or in our free tier, we can deploy. So yeah, you can use the server which is 1 GB RAM. You can use the server for the 10 GB RAM. But as per my experience, I have worked, I have taught multiple people. So whatever things we are going to cover, everything we are going to understand in a free tier only. So there should not be any charge. So that is where my expertise comes, how to achieve that. So yeah, so but for that everyone should have AWS account and you have to like do practice on the AWS.
So daily, how much time we have to uh, spend?
You are asking daily.
Yeah, daily, how much we have to
It
do
depends
practice?
how you can dedicate yourself to the things. It depends. Like everyone has some other works also. We are working somewhere. We are like learning something new, and we have a family life. Everything we have. So depending on that, whatever time we can give, that is that is good for us to like increase our knowledge. It depends. Like at least you have to give half an hour time or more than 45 minutes of time to whatever we learned, at least to practice that. And if you have more time, then you can like do multiple session practice. It depends individual to individual, but yes, you should have the time to practice.
You provide any job guarantee?
Job guarantee I cannot provide. Like I am not the job, I'm not the organization, so I cannot tell you that like I can give you the job. But the guarantee in the sense, after completing the session, that is the guarantee that you can sit in the job and you can get the job. So that is the guarantee I can take. But I cannot give you that assurance that yes, I have the organization, am working here, I can give you that. I can give you the roadmap how to get the job, how to crack the interview, and how to get into the industry. That is the thing I can give you. And rest depends on you, how you are smart enough, how you are like dedicated enough to get the job, and how you are good enough to like follow all the instruction whatever we have covered. I hope that's clear.
Yes, yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay. If somebody, any question from anybody as of now? Okay. Okay. Let me go through the topics which we are going to cover. So yeah. So first of all, there is no prerequisite to start our session. Everything and anything and everything we are going to cover from the DevOps point of view and the AWS cloud point of view. Everything we are going to cover in our session. So there is no prerequisite apart from creating the AWS account. Okay. Yeah. So first thing first, what we are going to understand first, we are going to understand the basic of Linux. Why Linux? Because as we have multiple operating system, like already we know the Windows, Mac, we have, but Linux is more secure, more fast. So that is why whatever the actual application is deployed in the real time, most like 98-99% of applications are deployed on the Linux environment. So in order to be a good DevOps engineer, in order to be a good cloud engineer or all, you have to understand some basic things of the Linux. Okay. So day to day life, we are going to do multiple things. We should create a file, we can edit a file, we can like commit a file, or we can, what I can say, change some content inside the file. We can check what is the which are the ports are open, which are not. So those kind of many various things we have to understand. How to rename a file, how to copy a file, how to delete a file, how to modify a existing file. Multiple things we need to know. So at least the Linux point of view, in the day to day life, whatever things we are going to work, we have to understand that. So that is why first thing we are going to understand the Linux operating system. Mainly we are going to focus on the commands or the techniques which we have to use in the day to day life as a DevOps engineer. So that is the first thing we are going to understand, the Linux. Second thing we are going to understand is AWS. AWS is our backend cloud. Now, AWS can offer multiple things, like whatever we are going to create in our from our tool points point of view. AWS can provide their own services. Like let's say, for example, if I am talking about the Git, so I have the Git. Git is one of the tool which we are going to use in the DevOps journey. Same thing, or now once we have the project, we will store everything in the internet, that is called GitHub. Now same GitHub can be same thing can be achieved from the AWS point of view using the code build. So AWS also provides some service which can mimic the purpose of the GitHub. So it is its own service. Now, what are the service we have to use in the AWS as a DevOps engineer? There are around 15-16 services we are having. We are going to understand all the services in depth, like starting from the everything we are talking about. We are starting from the very basic and go to the in depth to that level where we can implement our knowledge to the industry or to our next assignment. So that is I'm talking about. Okay, so from the AWS point of view, we are going to understand those services. Third thing, we are going to understand the Git. Without Git, nothing works. As a developer, you cannot work without Git. As a DevOps engineer or any engineer right now in the industry, you cannot work anything without the Git. So that is why it is very much important. Again, we are going to start from setting up the Git to the work to the extensive level of the Git, because day to day life, if we are writing something, we are collaborating with some of the team, then this is the tool you have to encounter every day. Okay, you have to work in Git for every day. So that is the first thing. So basically we are going to understand Git and GitHub. Okay. Now fourth thing, after we understood or we have some knowledge of Git and GitHub, then next thing we are going to understand one tool that is called Jenkins. Okay. Okay. Now, why Jenkins and what is Jenkins? So first thing first, Jenkins is the part of a tool. Okay, part of concept that is called continuous integration. Now, what is continuous integration? Now, as we understand, DevOps is nothing but the collaboration of development and the operation. Okay. Now, development part of the development team is to develop the application, and part of the operation team is to like package or take the development code to the actual environment. It can be dev, test, or prod. Now, how this thing will happen? How developers send the code to the actual client? So there is called pipeline. So you have heard of CI/CD pipeline, those kind of things. So those are nothing but the CI means continuous integration, CD means continuous delivery. Now Jenkins is the CI tool which help us to integrate multiple tools or integrate the entire journey from beginning to the end. So that is why any continuous integration is the heart of DevOps, because without that we cannot do anything. So that is why Jenkins is also very important, because this is a part of the CI tool. There are multiple CI tool in the market like Action, like GitHub Action, GitLab Action, those kind of thing we have, but Jenkins is more widely used and more widely popular, and it is the like older than the other technologies also. So that is why we are going to understand Jenkins. The next was CI. Okay. Now CI we are going to understand Jenkins. Then once the developer develop the code, how the code will ship to the end user. So it is not like that developer has developed 10,000 lines of code and we copy the 10,000 lines and go to the actual dev or test or prod environment. We convert the code into small file. Okay, so maybe 10,000 or 1 lakh lines of code we have to convert in a single file. Okay, and using the file we are going to achieve the next target. So how to convert the source code into a single file, that is where the build tool comes into the picture. Now we are going to understand Maven in order to achieve the build tool. Now build tool is basically to convert the source code into a file or artifact we can say. Okay. So basically build tool is nothing but how we are converting our source code in a single file. So Maven is the tool which we are going to understand in our session. Now, once the build tool is implemented, that means thousands or hundreds of lines of code is converted into a single file. That is called artifact. Now, the problem with the artifact is today developer has like developed the code of the version 1 they have created. So we have the version 1 of the artifact. Next day, they are changing the code or modified the code with a new feature that may be version 2. Now the artifact will be version 2. But if the version 2 is not working, then the easiest way and the quickest way is to revert back to the version 1. But if we do not store the version 1 of the artifact, then there is again we have to start from the scratch. So that is the problem we have. Now, in order to overcome that, we have the concept called artifactory management. Okay, that can be done using multiple tools also. We are going to see from the cloud level how to use S3 to resolve this artifactory management issue, and from the other tool JFrog we are going to understand to store the artifact, how we can store the artifact in a particular thing, or maybe we are going to understand Nexus. I am not sure, but there are multiple tools available. Like anything is possible, like Nexus is also popular, JFrog is also popular, S3 is also popular. So I will teach you all of these things, and now whatever is needed in your actual environment, you can use that. Okay. Now after artifactory management, now we have the file with us. Now how the file to be deployed in the multiple environment. Now we in a DevOps we call something like build once, deploy multiple. Okay, so build once means using the artifact, using the Maven, we convert the source code into a file. So that is called build. That is called CI. The purpose of the CI is to convert the source code into a single file till artifact creation. Okay. Now using the file, what we do, we can do multiple things, but the best thing which we can do, that is convert the file into a image. So if when we create the file or convert the file into an image, then what will happen is using the image we can deploy the application either dev, either test, either prod, or either any environment. Now, in order to understand how to build the image, the main technology is behind is that Docker. So nowadays, Docker, without Docker, no organization talks anything. Like we have to understand Docker itself. Now, what is the purpose of the Docker? That we have to understand how to implement the Docker in the environment. We have to understand. So everything from the very basic to from setting up the Docker in our Linux environment till how to work in the Docker in the compose level or any other level, we are going to understand. So from very basic to advanced level, we are going to understand all the tools, including Docker. Okay. Now, once we have the fair idea what is a Docker and what it can capable of, next thing which we are going to understand is the concept of configuration management. Now, what is configuration management? So let's say I have today one system, two systems, and in the system, like some people I have joined in my industry, I have to create the user. So what is the best, like best way to add create the user of new user in the two system. First thing, we have to log into the system one by one manually and create the user. So that is a good thing. Second thing is, suppose today I am running my Java at Java 8. Now tomorrow I have to upgrade my Java to Java 11. Okay, that is the use case. Now I have two system again. So talking about system means I am talking about the Linux machines. Okay, from the DevOps point of view. So I have to upgrade with the Java version from 8 to 11. So what is the easiest way and quickest way? I have to log into each and every server one by one and run the upgrade command from 8 to 11. So it will be done. Now think this, right now we can do these things very quickly because we are dealing with two servers only. But in the actual environment, if you have to deal with hundred or thousands of server, it is not feasible to log every time manually and do the changes. So in that case, we have one technology that is called configuration management. Using the configuration management, we can achieve this goal very easily. And in under the configuration management bucket, there are multiple tools, but the tool which we are going to understand, that is called Ansible. Okay, Ansible is will be our tool. There are other tools also, Chef and Puppet, but there are certain advantage using Ansible over Chef and Puppet. We are going to understand those later, but Ansible is the tool which we are going to understand in our session. Okay. Now, once this configuration management is sorted, then what is the next thing? Next thing is, like, we understand we can deploy our application using the Docker image or Docker container. Now, suppose somebody has accidentally stopped the container, somebody has deleted the container. There can be multiple of reasons, but even if the container is not working or the application is not working, we should handle the situation. Okay. Now there are multiple things. So I have given you just one small example, but this thing can be achieved via the tool that is called Kubernetes. We call it K8s also. Now this is one of the most popular tool currently in the market, like Kubernetes. So there are multiple resources we can create, like starting from deployment, starting from creating the configuring the node till the config map, till the secret and all those things. All the things we are going to understand everything in a in detail format. How to work in the Kubernetes environment, okay, and how to create the resources, how to deploy the resources, and all the things we are going to cover. Once we have the idea of this, then we have to understand the how to set up the monitoring tool. So why monitoring is important? Because there are multiple ways, like like after deploying the application or after the CI/CD complete, we have to monitor our application is healthy or not. Many things we have to observe, and that cannot be achieved via the monitoring tool. So we are going to understand Prometheus for that, to get the hands-on on how to use the monitoring tool in the actual environment, how to set up the Prometheus, how to set up the agent, and how to get the metrics or how to get the logs of the target missions. Those are the things we are going to understand using the Prometheus. Once that is done, now we are going to understand how we are doing or creating the infrastructure in the AWS cloud, doing some manual things like when we create the machine, we do the like launch instance and those kind of things. But same thing can be achieved via the writing the code. That is why It is also booming in the market, also demanding in the market. So we are going to understand Terraform. So how to write the code? So basically, this is our ISC, infrastructure as a code. So how to build the infrastructure using the code, and that is why Terraform comes to the picture. We are going to understand Terraform for that. Okay, and whatever things we are going to understand. So we are basically trying to cover CI and CD, continuous integration and continuous delivery. Now, once we start our journey from Linux, AWS, Git, and GitHub, I also guide you like side by side. We will develop one project. Suppose today we will understand Linux, so we will like or Git. So how to use the Git in the actual environment? I will like I will take one of the sample project and we will start working on that particular thing. Then as we are progressing like Docker, Ansible, Kubernetes, those kind of things, we are going to implement or enhance our project step by step. And once we come to the Kubernetes, once that is the end of the CI/CD, then you will see the application what we are going to understand. We are doing side by side. Also implement all the concepts starting from Linux to the Kubernetes. So the project, whatever we are going to do, everything will be covered, like starting from Linux to Kubernetes. So in that way, we are having good idea of each and every tool individually, and also in the project point of view, how to integrate multiple tools together using the CI/CD concept or using those kind of tools. What we are learned, it will be more easy to convince the opposite side of people what you have done in your life or what you done in your project, last project, or what are the knowledge you have on the tools basis and the project basis. So those this is the high level agenda what we are going to understand in our entire session. Okay. Now, yeah. So that is the high level thing what we are going to learn from our upcoming session. And almost 90% of session we are going to cover in a practical session. So there should be some theoretical concept which you have to understand, but not like more than 10%, because I believe like as you practice, you have the hands-on real-time project experience or real-time tools experience, you can explain the opposite side of people like very clearly. Okay, so that is why the practical sessions are very important, and we are going to see everything practically in the hands-on manner. So that is the agenda of our entire session. If anyone has any kind of question, you can ask. Any question from anybody from tools point of view or anything?
Yeah, this is Pavan.
Hi,
I
Pawan.
had a question yeah,
Yes.
so AWS is an account will take, and what about the other tools you have mentioned? Are these are free sources or we need to purchase these tools?
No, no, no. Everything is free now. There is nothing we have to purchase.
Okay,
Everything is free. As I said in the entire session, we are not going to spend like 0 rupees from this particular tools point of view, cloud point of view. Everything will be free. Starting from AWS to all the tools, everything will be free to install, and those are the open source basically.
Kubernetes, Kubernetes, Terraform, everything is free. So we can install on
Yes,
our system and we can work on
yes,
that.
yes. Everything is free.
Okay, thank you, Pritam.
Uh, Pritam, in the monitoring tools,
Yes,
which
Bhavesh.
kind of we will use in monitoring tools, uh, like CloudWatch or uh, Sonar Cube or Trivy
Yes.
or
But what is the question,
DevOps.
Bhavesh? I missed. Like, what is the question?
Uh, for particularly monitoring tool,
Uh-huh.
what kind of software or tools we will use in this
Okay, it
entire
depends.
course?
No, okay. So maybe we can use Prometheus, maybe we can use CloudWatch. We are going to understand both. So depending on whatever organization is need, then depending on that they can use. There is no specific thing that what kind of, depending on whatever is client approval tool is there. If they want to use the cloud service, then CloudWatch they may use. If they want to use Prometheus, then they can use. It depends. But from our side, we are going to understand both. So whatever comes, we can handle.
And code scanner type Sonar Cube and 3V like this.
Sonar Cube, no. First of all, those are not the monitoring tool. But now in our session, I don't think we have the Sonar Cube. But if you anyone specifically need to know what is a Sonar Cube and how to set up, how to work, then I can guide you. So as I said, like we are going to understand more than whatever is covered in the whatever maybe I have said today or maybe is in the PDF. More than that, we are going to cover. And if you have some specific requirement that I have to understand this because of this reason, then yeah, I can help you out. That is not a problem. Yes,
Hi, one second.
Chandra.
Hello.
Yeah,
Can in the AWS DevOps and AWS Data Engineer are both different platforms or the same kind
yes,
of thing?
yes. DevOps and data engineer are different platform. Data engineer basically
Hmm.
deals with the data, like they are basically you can say data science or kind of like Hadoop kind of technology they are using. So that is a different concept, and DevOps is a different concept.
Okay. Actually, I'm a little bit confused between both of them because here it again says
Yes, that is
cloud.
very natural. Like
So,
very natural.
okay.
Like if somebody wants to change the career from whatever they are doing to the next, there are two mainly broadly nowadays there are two choices. Either you can be a data engineer or data science engineer, or you can be a DevOps engineer. So both are fine. But the problem with the data engineer is there are multiple prerequisites and multiple roadmap is there. Like it is also a good career opportunity. Like I like that is the thing. But the thing is you have to know more things. Like like
Okay.
there are data science in the sense like data analytic, data collection, then like visualization. Multiple things are is there. Now depend how you can dedicate and how complex you can go. So depending on that, you can choose. But data science to change the career from one side, one like currently whatever you're doing, from that point of view, data science will be more tough as compared to DevOps and more challenging. And the job
No, no,
also,
I'm asking about the data engineer.
yes, I understand that data engineer is nothing but it is starting point of the data science.
Okay.
Now, why you have to be the data engineer? Because you are trying to understand or trying to go to the data science. So basically, that is the parent, and we are learning small section of the parent. Now, if you are leading to that direction, data science, sorry, data engineer is good. If you are going to DevOps side, then there are different certification we are having. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Pavani, you raised
Preetham,
your hand.
Rupa here. Will you provide any material for practicing purpose, like lyrics
Like
comments?
not material. I will provide like material. Like we are going to understand everything, a small project or something like that. And same thing you have to repeat to the your session. Now, once it is done, I will give you the task. Like what are the things you have to do from your side. So whatever code, whatever things we are going to capture everything in a notepad or something. Whatever today we are doing, and we are going to share those things to all of you. Like whatever comment, whatever things, whatever project we are used. So yeah, in that sense, are going to share everything day to day basis.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any other
Hello.
questions? Yes, Pavi.
Hello, sir. Can I get recording of this class?
Yes, we are having this. So
Okay.
you will get
After
a
this class,
recorded session after like suppose today we have done that. So maybe after like within 24 hours you will get the recording. Yes, that is for sure.
okay. Can I know the class timings and the amount of the course?
That I don't know actually. Like because for that details you have to connect to the visual path. In the chat they have pinged their contact detail. You can connect with them.
Okay, okay, so thank you.
Uh,
Hi Bhavesh.
Ritam,
Yes.
yes, again. Uh, most of things I know, basically.
Okay.
Uh, so it is preferable for me, or I have to move to DevSecOps.
Okay. Two part of question. You have to move to the DevSecOps, and what is the other part?
Uh, s- uh, See, in most of in this course, I
You know I understand then.
yeah, I know the basics and some of the advanced levels. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
I
That
have to be do this. I don't think it is preferable to me. So
okay.
I have to move to another course you provided, like DevSecOps.
Okay. So that means you want to start DevSecOps as you have understanding of DevOps. That is the point you are saying, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, okay. For that also you have to connect with the visual path. Like they can more guide. They can give you more guidance on that. Not only DevSecOps, we have the AI session with AWS. We have the GCP session. So there are multiple sessions are there. Now you can
Sure,
connect with them. They can guide you which is the session you have to opt.
sure.
Okay. So yeah, you can
Become
share all of
artifact.
you.
What is artifact management?
Animal. Artifact management is like when developer develop the code that has to be shipped or that has to be like compressed in a single file, that is called artifact. Now where we are storing the artifact, that is basically called artifact management. Why we need that? Because today developer can create something, tomorrow they change the code. So in that sense artifact will be different. Like today artifact is version 1, tomorrow maybe version 2. How we are storing or how we are managing the version 1, version 2, those kind of thing, that is why we need artifact management.
Okay, so creating pipelines kind of thing, right?
No, no, not creating pipelines, storing the files.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Preet.
Okay. Yes, any other questions?
I'm good from my side.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so so all of you, you can share like what I can say, like you can share your screen. You can sorry, you can share your contact details over the chat. So like uh, Visual Path team will connect with you, or directly if you want to connect with Visual Path team or the core team, they have given their email like contact number and the email address. You can connect with them also. Like it depends in the both ways. Okay, so these are the things like there are multiple things to learn in the entire DevOps journey. Like why we are going to understand DevOps, because the job market is very good, and whatever I am seeing in the next, like I'm talking about next decade also, like it will be there. There are multiple reasons, because more organizations are deploying their application to the cloud. If the people are deploying everything to the cloud, then the demand of the DevOps engineer will be increasing, not decreasing. Okay. So yeah, from that point of view, it is good to learn these tools and technologies. And there are multiple technology working in a side by side also. So I will suggest all of you, like this is my I can tell you honestly, and I can tell you something like that. Now it depends from where you are coming, what is your goal and what you want to do. Now, depending on that, as of now, DevOps is the one field we are talking about, but there are multiple fields around us. Like we can be a data scientist, we can be a AI engineer, we can be a cloud engineer itself, or we can learn multiple cloud. It depend. Like whatever you want to do, whatever is feasible to you, whatever is like attracted to you, you can, and whatever understanding you can have, like you can understand multiple things, but what you can do, you have the idea like yes, I can do that, then you can go there. Wherever you have the interest, you go there. Okay, not only DevOps, there are multiple fields, and depending on that, you choose whatever you want to do. So if you start DevOps, that is my guarantee that from the first day to the end day, I can guide you to with the too many tools and too many technologies that you started. If you start from the zero, I can make you to the 100%, and rest depend on that how you can express or showcase your skill set to the other people. There also I will guide you, but it depends on individual to individual. That is my side. But if you are trying to understand some other tools and technologies, you can check is it good enough, or is you are able to achieve those things. If yes, then you can check those technologies also. But for the DevOps, if we start, if I am there, like you will start with me, then yeah, that is my roles and responsibility to take you from the level 0 to level 100. That is my roles and responsibility. Rest depends on you, whatever you want to do. So, but do your thorough research before doing anything, because you are going to spend your hard-earned money. So, yeah. So, from your point of view, are you able to give the full dedicatedly time to the particular thing? That is one thing, and you are going to the right direction or not. Those are the things you have to check from yourself. When you are sure, you can join the session, and rest is my guarantee that from that level to that level I can take you. Okay, but do your own research also, like which field is attracting, which field is growing, which is having good amount from the professional point of view, which can give you good career, and which is feasible for you. Like next 3 months, 6 months, you can achieve that. You can switch the job, you can start working. So those kind of things you have to research first from whatever background you are coming. Then you can take the decision. Like because like if you start here, you can start there, you can start anywhere. Without like putting some amount, you cannot do that. But before you are going to put your amount, do your research, so it will be easy for you to like understand what you are trying to do, and it will be like good for you. Like you, if you put some money, then the dedication will be much more higher as compared to anything you are learning for free. So yeah, that is the thing I want to like say. But yeah, you can connect with the usual path. You can drop your contact detail to the chat, so the team can connect with you. Now it depends how you are going to connect. And if everything goes fine, from the next week we are going to start our regular batch. Now it depends how many people are interested, how many people are going to start. Depend on that, we are going to start. That is all from me for today. If anybody has any kind of question, suggestions, anything, you can ask. Anybody? Any question? Okay. So if you are not having any question right now, so we can drop off today and see you on the session. You can drop your email address or contact details so that other people or visual path team can connect with you. And if you have any question, you can ask me. And if there is no question, you can drop off as of now. Thanks for joining today's session.